How do you know that somebody is ripe
for marriage? You know, we sometimes treat maturity and age as correlates.
Readiness for marriage is a lot more than age. Like, you've not patiently pursued the things that he has committed to you as an individual. Then you want to quickly check a box.
A very, very sensitive marker that you are not ready for marriage is when you are dating back to back.
Talking stage every two weeks. So people that should be sitting with a coach and having clarity sessions about their person, you're putting a ring on their finger and then they come into marriage. So what are we supposed to be doing? They have not effectively chased their 1,000 and you are bringing them into a vision that says, come chase 10,000.
If somebody enters my life, am I worth being with?
Why is it that your focus is the age you want to get married as opposed to who we have become by the time we want to get married?
What should be at the fore is godliness. What should be at the fore is the blueprint of God for that marriage.
Yeah, people might be saying you are a great person. That does not mean you are ready for marriage. You are a friendly person, but are you a mature person?
It's not like you have, this is the courtship/marriage me, professional me, friendship me.
If with your friends, when you're responding to people, you get into those heated arguments, you will have it in marriage. Hi everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Purespective. My name is Pipelolua and
my name is David.
And today we're going to be talking about, we're actually doing a super relationship series. One for the singles, one for the married.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got you.
So let's start with singles. Singles always go first.
So that we can quickly get them out of the way and focus on more.
They are not going to forgive you. They shall not forgive you.
On weightier matters.
But yes, I think the season of singleness is a season you can never recover. Even though you go back to it, you don't go back to it as a single. You've already had some experiences, right? But when we are saying single, we are saying you have not gotten married. So whether you are engaged, there's ring on your hand, you have taken picture in front of, will you marry me? Right?
Or you did one of those things, one of the introduction.
Yeah, you did
introduction 3 months ago.
You shall not go.
You are very single.
You are still single.
You are very single.
In the context of this conversation. And you know, because a lot of people still turn back after these steps to say, oh, I don't think I was exactly ready or convinced, or for whatever reason. Right? So until you are married, you are not married. So let's settle that. So our first topic is before I say yes. I've already said yes. He has already said yes. So before you are single.
Before you say yes.
Before you say yes. So yes, let's have that conversation. I think personally, right, I think that there is this obsession with saying yes. And people that's annoying me the most are those people that know nothing about the relationship and they just witness the proposal. Say yes, say yes. Say yes that what? say yes that what?
Then somebody's collecting blow.
Then
you should say yes.
You are just there passing by. Say yes, say yes. But yeah, before we say yes, what are those things that, you know, we should probably be looking at? We should be things that we should look at. I don't want to say we must look at, right? But things that are just necessary to settle. Yeah, things we need to settle internally, things we need to look out for in the other party. Yes, pretty much. First of all, I think I'm just going to start. First of all, I think there should be no anxiety. There should be zero anxiety. And when I say zero anxiety, I think it comes to the point of rushing to get married? Why are you rushing? Why are you in a hurry? Why is it that your focus is the age you want to get married as opposed to who we have become by the time we want to get married? Right. There's a lot of emphasis on, oh, I already wrote it in my diary that I'll be married by June 25th, 2025. Right. So you are communicating a subtle pressure. Right. Sorry, there's a song coming to my mind. Pressure. You are mounting pressure. Right. But yes, communicating a subtle pressure that we need to be married by this time. Right. I don't disagree with you that the Lord might have revealed to you that you'll be married. I'm not very sure of, how commonplace that is. But I think that more commonplace is we deciding a time on behalf of the Lord to say, this time is right, God. Now, say amen to what I have said. Right? And for many reasons, who started that you must be married by 25?
I don't know.
I think that
I don't know that
we need to find that person. But it's obviously a thing.
Right? I think it's also it may also be cultural.
Yes.
It may also have to do cultural and some other things. For instance, funny how that in the West they used to and still do in some spaces
get married
very early.
19,
you're in 19, 20.
Yes.
I'm like, did they chase you from home? No, but you discover that was their context and how, particularly Christians.
Yes.
The Christians,
especially Christian missionaries,
Christian ministers. If you're going to be heading a pastorate, they no 1 year say you're 18 or you would have married. I'm like, what's going on? I can remember like multiple examples of people. I think
yes.
Reverend Kenneth E. again.
Yeah.
I think he got married very early. I think
I don't even know the age got married.
I think is it Reinhard Bonnke as well? There are quite a number of people I remember. Like,
what's going on? Are in my head, but I know that I've read what is going on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and recent times, the age has sort of been delayed in some quarters, particularly secular. So I think it might be cultural as well. And we also know that around here, particularly for females, getting married around that age group. So growing up, I didn't know that women getting married at 24 to 25, 26 was a thing. I thought it was like generally for people, everybody 30 now. But then I just quickly discovered that 23, 24 as a woman, what's going on?
I think it has to do with, as much as many times people do not like to admit the biological clock thingy, but I mean, there's the concept of childbearing being easier at certain ages. Yes, so a lot of people are thinking, I'm going to get married and then I want to have 4 children. So if I'm going to do that, 2 years. I've spent 8 years of my life. So somebody who got married 25, gives birth, wants to be done by 35, right? With having 4 children. And I mean, as long as you are checking all the boxes.
Yeah, I mean,
if you like, marry 15 years old. As long as you're checking the boxes. So I don't think age is exactly the bone of contention here. It is more a conversation of readiness. Yes. And how do you know that somebody is ripe
for marriage? The assumption, we sometimes treat maturity and age as correlates.
Yes.
Such that you can't say that you are 27, 28 and you are not mature. The reality is that there are people at this age who are not mature.
Many people.
Who are not mature, but...
or who are mature in some areas,
and not exactly.
They are mature in career. But when it comes to love-related matters, are very immature. Right?
But we don't objectively evaluate that enough by ourselves, of course. Not like anybody give you a questionnaire. you don't evaluate that objectively enough yourself, or another people don't do that for you.
Yeah.
So you just, I'm 28.
Mm-hmm.
I should be doing this. I should be married. I should be,
And especially because there's a very high tendency that if you're 28, then a good number of your friends, your colleagues, your, schoolmates are getting married. So that then puts you under that pressure. Like, if everybody's achieving this, then I should also be achieving this. But readiness for marriage is a lot more than age. And I know that we probably hear this every time. We probably, like, it's a conversation that comes up every time. But I don't think we exactly emphasize what it is about. It's not about age, then what is it about? Right? It's not about how much money you have in your bank account, then what is it about? Right? And like I said, I already mentioned, it's about contentment. It's about recognizing that I am my person. I am a person of value on my own. I am content with the value that I have. I recognize what I carry. There's so many people that do not recognize what they carry, who they are. Like, and this is by let's have a deep conversation. Who are you? What value do you bring to the table? And these are like very important questions you should be asking anybody you like, anybody you are feeling, anybody you think the Lord is leading you to, regardless of how spiritual and anointed that, person is. It's a thorough conversation that should be had. What do you think you are? What do you think you bring to the table? What values do you carry? Right? And when I say values, I'm already talking another thing. I'm saying your substance as a person, where you are headed, the set of unique things that come together to form you. A lot of people cannot define that. A lot of people do not know that. A lot of people have not identified that. So people that should be sitting with a coach and having clarity sessions about their person, you're putting a ring on their finger, and then they come into marriage and they're like, oh my God. Like, okay, so what are we supposed to be doing? They have not effectively chased their 1,000. And you are bringing them into a vision that says, come chase 10,000. It's almost not going to be possible because they have not chased 1,000. And please spare me with, they serve in church. Like, they can serve in church, my brother and my sister, and yet not know these things.
They can lead a church.
Oh, yes.
And yet not know these things.
Yes, absolutely.
It happens.
Absolutely.
It happens,
so you want to sit with somebody who has a clear vision. And I'm not saying a clear vision does not mean the vision is not progressive. A clear vision does not mean I can answer every single thing about my life. But a clear vision says that, I believe that this is what the Lord is calling me to do. I believe these are the things that the Lord is leading me to do. I think this is what my life is about. If these are not conversations, questions you can answer, you don't yet have a business thinking that you want to bring another person into the journey of your life. Because what are they coming to do? For the woman, what is the man coming to support? What is the man coming to nurture? You yourself have not identified that. Right? I remember when I was getting married, when myself and my husband were dating, there was this, we used to have a lot of walks, like just walking together where we'll talk and talk. And then there was a walk where, we literally started digging out all of this. What are things that the Lord, has said to you? And I could identify, I could say, I believe that I have, there were things that I had written in my journal, things that God has spoken to me about for years and years, burdens He had laid on my heart, problem statements that I knew that I was trying to solve somehow. Why is it this way in the context of family? Why are there this kind of family issues? Why do we have families that, are not one in terms of spiritual vision, right? That was a burden for me. Another burden for me was media, like what's going on in the media space. Why is it like we're telling stories that don't count? We're having conversations that don't transform. And I was looking for places that I could serve my gifts that could push that vision, right? I was also looking ministry. What was it about ministry that the Lord was sending me to do? So I think that these things, many times people say things, people make it, and when we say things like this, people make it seem like, oh, so are you saying that if we don't know this, we're not ready for marriage? Yes, that's what I'm saying to you, because it proves to me that you probably have not spent enough time with the Lord. You probably have not, like, you've not patiently pursued the things that He has committed to you as an individual. And then you want to quickly check a box that requires that you should have this aspect of your life already, at least to a degree, identified, right? I'm not saying sorted, but identified at the barest minimum. You should be able to identify these are the core things that the Lord would have me do, that I believe the Lord is leading me to. Even start and be wrong. Right? Yes. But let it carry weight.
Let there be something. There should be something.
Yes.
And even if you don't have the end point in view, you don't have the great thing in view. Okay, is it that God has said serve in this unit? Even if that is it,
yes,
you have the assurance that God wants me to serve in this unit. Yes. I'm not just looking out for where they say we should join.
You're not jumping from. Yes.
And they've chased you from one unit before.
Yes.
So, that's not it. So we're talking conviction. I'm sure, but as you heard the topic, you were thinking, they will tell you things that you can look out for in the partner. But that's not it. We're starting really with you.
Yes.
You that you want to say yes. What things do you need to know and everything? Of course, we'll probably get to where we'll start saying, what are the things to look out for in the other person? But it really starts with you, right? Because, you need to make informed decisions.
Yes.
And informed decision means that you have some information, right? With which and from which you then make a decision. Now, if you don't have any information, your decision will be poor, right? Because it's going to reflect, that there's really nothing in there to guide your decision.
Yes.
And that's why, the conversation is really going this way. So, something that I really like to think about and to talk about in terms of what are the things that we need to know, to be, and all of that before that is, do you really understand
marriage?
The point of marriage, the point of family.
If you're going to define it,
if you're going to, what would you? And really, no one is asking for a definition. I know there was social studies, all those things. No, that's not what no one's asking for. That
marriage is the coming together of a man and a woman to build a family unit.
What is a family unit? What's the point of family? What is
God's idea?
What's God's idea of family?
And how does your own marriage contribute to that grand idea?
These are really, really important questions, because it has a lot to do with when you look at, what is marriage? What is family? It causes you, it makes you, it compels you to look inward.
Yes.
And ask, if this is what this thing is, am I ready?
Yes.
If this is what it is, am I ready? And the am I ready question is not for you to rule yourself out. It is simply
to work on yourself.
Yeah, working on yourself. You are just identifying, these are the things that I think would be required. And you don't need to get it 100%. But I can tell you that a person who has gone through that evaluation is more likely to have more information about himself and all these things than a person who hasn't done that at all.
Yes.
And you begin to think, these are the things that I think this is what God says about family and marriage. These are the things I have. These are the things I lack.
Yeah.
I really believe that, God has placed this in me, which would be very instrumental in family life and this. But this other one, it's not.
You see that point of the things I lack. I think it is an underemphasized point. Recognizing the areas of weakness and things that still need to be. Because when you want to propose to somebody, they're sending you good points like, I'm a great person, I'm this, I'm that. But you must be so in tune with your areas of weakness and recognize the areas in your life that the Lord is working on per time, right? That is such an important, because if you are not in tune with that, that means that you assume perfection. You assume infallibility, and then that's going to create false expectations, even in the concept of marriage, which is usually many times the very first problem, because people are expecting some perfect Prince Charming, some perfect, beauty queen, and then you're stumbling on some character flaws and you're offended. You're offended by those character flaws because there had not been a proper identification of the reality that this thing is a work in progress. These are the areas of your life that you're working on. These are the areas of my life that I am working on. How then do I contribute to that work, right, to ensure that it is properly done? How then do you contribute to this work? Like, if you have issues with anger, let's know. If you have issues with self-control, let us know. Bring it, put it on the table. Oh, I don't do well financial prudence. Okay. How, if we are going to be getting married, that's not something we can go in with, right? We need to have a sense of direction. Oh, and this I find to be very common is that a lot of people have not, how scripture says that a man will leave his father and his mother and cleave. A lot of people
have not left father, they've not left mother.
And the definition of not left is that they carry with them family baggage. They carry with them the trauma from family. So for a lot of people, the reason they want to get married is because they want to prove family wrong. The point for them is father and mother, right? So there's a lot of what they know is what they have seen their father and mother do, and they want to go and replicate, right? They've not sat to thoroughly say, this thing is not, this wasn't great, this, I don't want to repeat this. I like this. Okay, this is a heritage I want us to carry along. This is something that must not go there. And especially for you, if you see that your background was a bit faulty, right? You didn't come from a healthy home. Your parents were separated. Your parents were living together but living separated, right? You see, believe it for free that there are some things that have dropped on you, that you need some shaking off. You need some unlearning. I dare say that one of the things that you must have, aside, knowing what marriage is about, which is a very important thing I think we'll still come back to, is that you must have a teacher. You must have a spiritual cover. You must have spiritual leadership. That's the word I'm looking for. You must have spiritual leadership over your life, right? Somewhere you can ratify your decisions. Someone with whom you can check your decisions. I like this guy. What do you think? Somebody that can actually approve you and say you are ready. Somebody that can ask you the tough questions, that can sit you down and ask you tough questions and about your own readiness for marriage, not just about the person. So this guy, is he a good person? How much is he earning? Where is he working? Which church is he going? Somebody that will check you and approve whether you are. You need that. You need that level of intentionality. And that only comes from a submissive relationship, right? A relationship where you have submitted over time, right? There are some things that even without asking you, the person already knows by reason of interaction and all of that. So yes, I think I really wanted to point out you have to be submitted to a degree. And I know that somebody might be watching and be like, oh my God, I plan to marry this year. I don't have a lot of these things. So are you saying that I have to get all of these things before I now get married? Believe you me, it is worth shifting your wedding date for. like these are things you like. It is worth that your diary is worth changing the plan, your journal,
Plan B.
right? And saying,
Go to plan B.
like, I know that I had planned 2026, but now let's do 2028 because there's a quality of person I want to become. Yeah, I think.
So
yes.
we talk about how people have traumatized us, and we don't talk about how much trauma we've put on people. We don't talk about how we've caused issues in relationships, and you know, this is such an important thing. And so one of the things that we talk about would be, oh, that the woman is not submissive, she's not da 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 da. Well, I see many men, and they come into even relationship, not marriage,
ill-prepared
with, yes, very, very ill-prepared. And sometimes you see the expression of that in this dictatorship mindset. So, okay, so they are saying, okay, you're the head of the home now, Abi. So now, you now start calling the shots. Have you seen two people in a relationship? They never marry, no ring. So they've not even had the marriage conversation. So this person has not said he's going to marry me. I'm talking about in secular settings now.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if
in
you're in a
spiritual
relationship,
settings,
I don't know how you're in a relationship. If you don't plan to get married,
marry me. Why did I say yes to you?
Do you get? So, but let's say these people, they've not talked about marriage. There's nothing about marriage at all. And then guys, the one telling you when to wake up. Don't telling you when to sleep. You want to go out and say no. Say you should go and no. Go inside. Go and change this.
It's a very deep red banner.
What?
Yeah, because that's why I love scripture. It says, like Christ loved the church. Christ doesn't lord himself over the church.
You know that scripture that says that Jesus Christ, knowing he was sent from God, now went to look for basin and to wash the feet, showing that, you know, a consciousness of leadership, of identity, the kind of leadership. You know yourself, you know your identity, you know you're the leader, you are secure in it. Now carry basin, wash that leg.
Sorry, that I wash plates didn't mean that.
Do you get? So he's trying to tell you that leadership is not dictatorship. Leadership is service. Leadership is service. Leadership is service. It's nurturing. It's doing all those things. But you are saying, oh, come and cook for me. Come and you know.
Yeah, you're having arguments like me. I like fresh food, though. I like fresh made food. It's like this your work. Yeah, you pay too much attention to this your work. So I don't think that what's wrong with you? Like, why are we having that conversation?
What rights do you have?
Do you understand?
To be making demands over the life of another person in such a way because they have said, not that because I said you will be the head of the home. If eventually you cross that bridge and talk about marriage, it's mind blowing for me.
It is. Like, I think that many people go in with the mindset of what I'm going to get. And that is why there is so much emphasis on the kind of person the partner is, as opposed to who you really are. Because you're thinking, so will this guy treat me right? Will this guy, fly me out of the country? Where are we going to? What's he going to do for me? Da, 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 da. And it's that very faulty representation of marriage that is out there. Where people are saying, oh, Mr. A bought me this. Mr. Kenika bought me this. It took me here. So people now feel that relationships are meant to be performative. Marriage is meant to be performative. So I want to get you a car. And then that's a proof of the love. You know when they say you cry in Benz? Like, because your soul is so not nurtured. Your vision is not nurtured. Who God has called you to be, you feel so like distant from this person you're married to. You will cry.
And we've sort of normalized it that it's better to cry in Benz than to cry in Marwa. You see the constant in that equation?
Yes.
Tears.
It's almost like the tears
You have take no worries, fine. Just cry.
The tears are not a non-negotiable.
They are not.
They are not.
You don't have to cry.
You can be happily married.
You can be
not
happily
saying
married.
that you know there are no issues, there are no challenges, but those challenges are designed.
You don't have to
bring out a better version of you. But when you go in with a warped mentality, you go in thinking of how you want to appear before people, as opposed to who you really are within the house. It becomes a serious ticking time bomb.
You know, and it is. And there's just so many things to really mention. And I think another one I would want to say is we did not itemize really, but I think we've touched on so many points in this, the short time that we've had so far. And I think one of the things I also want to say is a very, very sensitive marker that you are not ready for marriage, and most very likely not ready for a relationship, is when you are dating back to back.
Talking stage every two weeks. Talking stage with different people.
When you are doing back to back, that's
a proof of anxiety.
Now, there's another subset of this group of people where you just finish one relationship now. By finish, I mean they dump you or you dump them. And Shebi, you're still,
you should still be healing from
next
that.
thing. We are saying you and yours again.
Yeah.
Another you and yours.
Yeah. It's too. It's so problematic, so toxic.
I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of people who are like this. I have not seen one person who I think is serious or doing anything right. That's serial. I don't know if it's serial dating. I'll call it. Also,
I like it. Serial dating.
You just, I'm like, so I don't understand. You cannot stay on your own.
Yes. And it points at something. It's a bigger issue.
It's a bigger issue.
You think that you need validation from somebody else. Like to be happy. Somebody else must be in the picture.
Relationship. It's I've seen it in men. Yes. I've seen it in women.
Yes. Like even though they're not they're in situationships. They must sure have a love context.
There's something going on.
You can't. There's something wrong. And I recall that I was out of a relationship before I started dating my husband for 4 years, right? And those 4 years of my life were very instrumental to my dealings with the Lord. A lot of people came, but it's like Adam, right? In the garden. No, this isn't you. You are hippopo. You are like no, like there must just be that thing. It's not that everybody that gives you attention.
You just
next thing you are taking ice cream with them. You people are going out together. Something is wrong.
We talk about. At least, I don't know what I would call it, at least brand or package.
And then we lie to ourselves and say, as long as the person is in the body of Christ, as long as the person is a believer, you can consider the person. Why? Why? How? Like, there must be a sense of direction in your life. You are a believer, but I do not think so.
There's the obvious issue of, like we always say, everybody says, church is like a hospital. And when you talk to the church in terms of the building, it's like a hospital. Not everybody is responding to treatment.
Yeah.
So if the fact that the person is coming to church is your yardstick, you may just pick somebody who is not responding to treatment, right? But apart from that, we are all even responding to treatment, but we're not going in the same direction.
Yeah.
We're not going in the same direction. We're not going now. Even if we're going in the same direction, you still need to make these decisions. We talked about guys who are dictators, who are controlling and everything.
Yes.
You can meet a person that will take your destiny like this, and we suppress it.
Yes,
squeeze, take all the juice, squeeze it out of your life. And this person is a believer. This person will go to heaven.
Yes,
this person will go to heaven. But that's your destiny.
I think one of the conversations we must have internally before getting married is what kind of spouse do I want to be? What kind of partner do I want to be? What kind of person do I want my partner to become because of my presence in their lives? What kind of person do I want to attract? What kind of person should my partner be? Like, so that my giftings can properly serve, right? Like, you should just have those. And they are not things that you just come up with your mind. They are conversations you sit with the Lord to say, what kind of person, what kind of mother do I want to be? What kind of family do I want to grow? Like, in the eye of my mind. And forget photo shoots. Forget how cute it will look in a frame. What are the values? A lot of people have not defined these things. They've not sat today, but they've picked wedding dress. Like, you know the kind of vendor you want. You know the kind of... My heart breaks so deeply. It's not vibes. This thing is not vibes. It's not vibes. You must be so conscious of the breed you want to groom in your home. You must be so one of the things that drew me to my husband, as a matter of fact, I didn't know, like, I wasn't considering him as husband then, but I just knew that this is a solid guy to keep as a friend. We're having a conversation one day about, I still have the PDF on my phone because it was WhatsApp chat, but I copied it and I went to save it in a PDF because it was so powerful. We're talking about children and how children should be raised. And the guy was sounding my sound. Like, he was saying things that he was telling me things that I had only talked about with the Lord. Like, the kind of children, how children should be raised, what it should be like, if a child is godly, what that should translate to in school. I said, hey, and I knew that there's something here. Like, there's something in this. But when you are overly impressed by the sound of their tongues, and you are not seeking, you're not digging for water, you're not digging to say, what is here? What is inside here? There's something wrong, right? Because it can be lost. And when we say lost, many times people think just sex and sexually related things. Lost can be tongues. You can be lost in after. You will want a
teaching gift.
My brother. You can be lost. I want a ministry gift. A brother or a sister that when she enters, a lot of people are like, she's fine. She knows the Lord. She's doing well career-wise. So you must identify those losts and say to yourself, no, we shall not. This lost will not lead me. Right? This conversation of identifying, it takes time. And you must sit with yourself. You just must sit with yourself to be able to say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing.
So, I mean, and when you're talking about it takes time, I was just thinking about courtship, short courtships. And I think I have, my opinion on short courtships is that, because I see people who, you are a certain way. You meet somebody who is a certain way. In 6 months, you both are married. I don't have high hopes for such a marriage. Right? And the simple reason is this. There are so many things both of you have not dealt with individually. Then you now come and do 6 months in which there are so many things you still have not dealt with.
Especially within the context of people who have a lot of unresolved personal
issues, and it can be very, very disturbing. Now, I understand the place of, this is a person who has been walking with the Lord. This is a person who is reflective. This is a person who is self-aware. This is a person who understands spiritual realities, as seen, as identified. Oh, these are things. This is how far I have come, and this is where I'm going. This is what the Lord is doing in me and everything. And there is so much growth, and you meet someone else who is on a similar journey of growth and all of that, on the same wavelength, and you guys decide, okay, I think at this point we can move this thing forward, and you have a short courtship, because the truth is you cannot finish everything during courtship. There are some things you would take into marriage. The question is, what are you taking into marriage, right? And are there things that you can work out, even in marriage as well? But these are people that you've done a major part of the work in your singlehood, in your single days. Now, but you have not done anything. You have no idea. You've not identified anything. And you meet someone, bam, you grab yourselves. And then in 3 months, in 6 months, you are there because you want to mark the calendar. Or because you want to stay off pressure.
My brother, because you want to have sex. I'm telling you, like, the thing.
It is better to marry than to born.
Yeah, then, like, we hold on to that. But in my head, I'm like, guy, do you recognize the weight of marriage? Like, do you know how heavy this ministry called marriage is? It's not casual. It's not something the enemy fights it so much, because after the relationship between the church and Christ, there's no other union that, the vision is oneness, except marriage. Like, there's no other relationship context. So, and that is the only context that Jesus likens himself and the church to. So it must tell you something, that the kind of attack that the enemy is giving, is loading the church with, is most likely the kind of attack that will be loading marriage with. But there will be things, and you need so much stature to be able to withstand. You need to, and it's not saying that you will not have issues. Like, I'm so careful to say that. But there's a stature that you just need, and you need to invest in that stature. You that as a single person, you can keep malice past anything. You want to marry, you that you are so unforgiving. You want to get married,
and this is not to really scare you, or make you feel like it's like some people already have this marriage anxiety, marriage fear, that my marriage may not work, particularly if parents' marriage may not work and everything. This is not to solidify that fear in your heart. What we are trying to tell you is that truly that marriage will not work if you don't deal with these things. So we're sort of showing you such that your anxiety and that your fear does not come to pass. These are the things to do. Then go and marry. Go and marry.
If you find that you are someone who is just very defensive, once feedback is coming your way, you are defensive.
Firewall.
Like, you're already, no, it's not like that. Yes. If you find that in relational context, actually sit and analyze the top 5 relationships in your life. And then check, have I been having issues with this relationship throughout the existence of this? And I'm not saying romantic relationship. Why do you have top 5 romantic relationships?
Yeah, top 5.
I just say, like, your friends. Oh my God. I say your friends, your mentor, like, because you can tell when you're a problematic person. You might not have been able to, see it that, it's like, but you can see that, I was offended with this, my mentor, because they said this, or because they treated me this way. So I started to draw back. So I started to this. This my friend. Oh, this. You've already counted 5 contexts. As a matter of fact, I can even limit it and say 3. 3 contexts where these things are happening. You want to sit back and say, yeah, people might be saying you are a great person. You are a lively person. That does not mean you are ready for marriage. You are a friendly person, but are you a mature person? Like, are you mature? Are you spiritually mature? And spiritual maturity comes to all these things. How much of self-control do you have? How much forgiveness can you wield? How much, humility do you have? How much of correction can you take? Right? When you're not the one in the limelight, how do you feel? Like, just those many things.
I'm glad you mentioned in relational context, because I think they are also a very sensitive way of, because the truth is, it's not like you have, this is the courtship / marriage me.
Yes.
This is the professional me. This is the friendship me. What you do in those spaces, same things that you will take into.
If you see that at work, you are mostly arguing with people, like you get into heated conversations, heated arguments. If with your friends, when you're responding to people, you get into those heated arguments. You will have it in marriage, and even on a larger scale. Because this person will always be in your face. I'm gonna break bottle low.
So if you cannot see a very sense, if you cannot keep a relationship, if you cannot keep a friendship, a relationship, you know, they put like that. You fight every time.
Yes.
You fight with you. So even your best friends, people can fight like.
And you say that's how we are.
5 times in a year.
Hi.
And keep malice for maybe 1-2 weeks. You eventually we eventually come back. But that's how our friendship is.
No.
We will not talk for like 2 weeks, but we'll come back. That's my best friend. I love her so much. But when we fight, it's serious.
You are toxic. I give you the report card.
It's not normal.
Yes,
it is not normal. It is not normal. It's not normal. You need to do something about it. So if your feedback from relational context is a very, very sensitive tool, very, very sensitive marker of how you will relate in marriage, and how you relate in marriage, and you should go after that feedback.
Yes.
So what I mean is, people may not give you that feedback. Go and meet them to ask. People who you know are honest. People you know,
and you know, this feedback thing. You know that there's a way you can carry yourself that will say, "I want to receive feedback." There's another way you carry yourself. I know that you don't want to receive feedback.
I just checking a box to take New Year
and
resolution.
the moment I say something that doesn't suit you, you're going to misbehave, right? So sometimes people now they're now cautious around you. Let's know what we are saying here. So you now put yourself in a position whereby you are doing something wrong and everybody's watching.
It's a sad place to be.
Or people have corrected you over time, and although you say yes sir, yes ma, you did not heed to it practically. Automatically over time, people will refrain
from saying anything.
Yes. And that's here. It already shows you the kind of, if you want to marry anybody, go and meet the people that lead them. Go and meet their friends. If they will be honest with you, right? Go and meet the Lord and observe who that person is. Observe, and I pray that the Lord will help you ask very important questions, right? Observe who that person is in all of those contexts. It will tell. So you will see, you know, the person that cannot forgive you, that that any small flaw, you will apologize for it for the next 3 years, right? You would see those things, and trust me, you don't want to bear with those things. Those are not, like, read 1 Corinthians 13. Look out for those things, or at least look out for the disposition to be in those things. Like, is this person kind? Is this person kind to his driver? Kind to her gate man? Kind to security officer? Kind to me when I am wrong?
If you are not now kind, do you see that, okay, I need to be kind?
Because now I'm not saying that this thing that you did is not kind. And like, how can you be demanding kindness when you are wrong? Problem is gonna happen.
You know, so this relational context thing we've said, you know, it helps you to judge yourself. You have to examine yourself. It also helps you to examine a prospective client.
Yeah.
You know, really, and we've talked so much. We have not even really talked about the person you're going to be with.
Another day.
Another day. But I really think that this has been a rich conversation in just talking about, you go and sit down. Am I worth being with?
Yes.
Am I worth being with?
That's such a very...
If somebody enters my life,
hope I won't just make... Am I going to make the person happier, better? Like, genuinely better? Will I make the person a better? Or I will just make the person will be thinking about me having palpitation?
Am I going to actually ruin this person's life? Am I going to ruin this person's experience? Am I going to cause this person to think of relationships and marriage and have a bad memory and have a bad mental? Am I going to leave a wound? Am I going to leave a wound in the heart of this person because of what I've done? It's not, in everything we've talked about since now, nobody has mentioned feelings. Nobody has mentioned, I like him, he likes me. Nobody has mentioned 6 packs. Nobody has mentioned 5
Because I feel like by the time you cross all of these things, if your feelings are still standing, right, then let's go.
I mean,
because you subjected it to the spiritual test. And these things take time. Don't see somebody in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Next thing, I want to marry you.
You know, want to.
Asal.
So in conclusion,
you see somebody on the road.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I wanted to go to. But I was trying to hold myself. You triggered it. Like, how do people see somebody? You see somebody, she's passing. You have not seen her before. Just pass. Say, see, you say, sister. I like you. How do you put it?
My color.
You have no information. You have zero. There's nothing to work with. And you toast that lady. I'm not saying you collect number and say that, can I get to know you? Or, you don't want to know the person. You want to enter a relationship with that person.
I really want to say something here. Because I sense that some people will be watching this and say things like, well, there are people that are not believers that don't do these things and they have happy marriages. The goal is not a happy marriage. The goal is a marriage that glorifies the Lord. The goal is a marriage that is productive for kingdom. The goal is, I think Jackie Perry puts it this way, marriage is not there to make you happy, it's there to make you holy. So it is that what God sees when he looks at your marriage, that is the big deal.
That is the big deal, yeah.
We have become too obsessed with the idea of happily married, which is a part of being well married and properly married, is a subset of it. You should be happily married. But is that the entirety of it? Is it your happiness that is the beginning and the end of this marriage?
You know, and to say to what you said, I don't think I've seen a couple, a productive couple, a fruitful marriage, a godly marriage that God is happy with, that God is really. I'm not talking about a fruitful ministry. I'm talking about a fruitful person. I'm talking about a fruitful marriage. I'm not saying that, okay, a person or the two people in the marriage, they are fruitful in terms of their careers, ministries. I'm saying the marriage itself. Is
because
fruitful.
People don't recognize that is the thing.
The marriage is fruitful. The marriage is godly. And they are not happy. And they are not joyful.
Yes.
And they're not, because we need to understand that there's something called joy in the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
There's something called joy in the Holy Ghost.
Yes.
And it doesn't come from what you have done, what you have achieved, what you have, all those things. It comes with presence. I put it that way. It comes with presence. And I think that's what I want us to do. So it's not like they're saying that, okay, as long you can be sad, as long as we are telling you that what should be at the fore is not happiness.
Yes.
What should be at the fore is kingdom. What should be at the fore is godliness. What should be at the fore is the blueprint of God for that marriage.
Absolutely.
And then the joy that you are looking for, the happiness you are looking for, is going to...
You find it within that.
Within that context.
But if you are willing to find your happiness outside of that, then you already know that you are a problem. And you should not be thinking of getting married yet. Deal with yourself. Sit down. Deal with yourself. It's so important. And I also just feel like people that are married might watch this and feel like, oh, I did not check all of these boxes before getting married. Is that why I'm going through what I'm going through? Is that why my marriage doesn't feel exactly... My marriage probably feels dry and drab. Yeah, probably.
It's possible.
And now that you know, sit down and begin to walk through that phase with your partner.
We know that because... And
perhaps go to a marriage a certified spiritual marriage counselor.
Because we know that God is a restorer.
Yes.
God can restore things. God can mend. God can, do all these things and can take you from a point of brokenness and everything is just scattered and all of that. And then you get to a point of everything is just beautiful. You know how the earth that was form and void,
yes,
without form and void,
yes,
was transformed into something beautiful.
Yes.
God can do that with lives as well.
Yes.
You know, and it's just a beautiful thing to know. And, you know,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you leave us to continue to talk, we shall go on and on.
We promised to do a marriage something.
We'll do a marriage series later on. We will. Watch out for it by the grace of God. Thank you so much. And on this note, we say,
if this has set you free,
help set others free. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.